today? Come on in the building. Come on in the building. Oh, my thing is acting up. Why is my thing acting up? It was on there and then it just went away. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn the camera on, but it's okay. It's okay because your girl look spiffy. Yeah, spiffy. I look a little spiffy. Okay. What's going on, good people? I hope everybody's having a great day. I had a great day. The devil tried to get busy on me today, but I rebuked him. Okay? You never let the devil win. You never let the devil win. Don't let the devil win. He's knocking at my door. Don't let the devil win. What's going on, my beautiful people? Welcome to. I almost said my other channel. I almost said my other channel. Welcome to the Quiet Combat 365. What's up, rebuilders? That's what I call my peoples over here, rebuilders. Okay? Anybody who's trying to build themselves back up. Okay? Anybody that's trying to build themselves back up. Anybody that's trying to learn to love themselves. Anybody that's trying to become comfortable in their skin. You're a rebuilder. This is for you. This is the space for you. Okay? Anybody trying to do any healing, anybody trying to heal from their traumas, this is the space for you. Okay? And hello, my name is Coach Vale. I'm going to use Coach Vale. That's not my real name, but I like that. I don't know why. That name just popped when I created this. My name, that Coach Vale, just popped up there. I don't know why, right? Excuse me. So I'm gonna run with it. Okay. I hope everybody's doing great. I know I was running a little late. I truly apologize. Please like, share, and subscribe as you come in. Hello, hello, hello. Roblox CEO BAI. Hello, Roblox. How you doing? How you feeling? Yes, we're gonna get into some things. We're gonna get into some things over here today. Okay. All right. I titled this. What did I title this? I don't forgot. Ain't that crazy? I titled this Recovery Principles That Apply to Everyone. I think that's what I titled this. Yeah. I did. And so we're going to talk about it because some of us think that when you talk about the 12 steps, some people automatically think that you're talking about addiction. Okay? But you're not. The 12 steps is not just for addiction. Okay? Good evening, dear. How are you? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for tapping in. I'm doing good. And you? Yeah, so when you talk about the 12 steps, some people automatically think that you're talking about addiction, recovery. That it only applies to people with an addiction. That's not true. Anybody can use the 12 steps for their life. Anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be an addiction. Okay? Somebody who's on drugs. You can use it. Say you're going through domestic violence, right? And you trying to heal and you trying to get your life back on track. You can use those 12 steps just for that too. It's for anybody who's trying to rebuild themselves, who's trying to heal, who's trying to grow and become a better version of themselves. You can use those principles also. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And so I wanted to start there first, to let y'all know that. Now, we're going to go on down. Um, Wait a minute. I'm trying to get my notes, get into my notes. You know, these principles taught me so much. It gave me so much wisdom and knowledge. Okay, like uh, accountability, acceptance, humility. You know, like these steps really helped me out. So I want to first talk about comparing in instead of comparing out. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. I want to talk about comparing in and not comparing out. Okay, because I think that's where some of us get lost at when we are talking about the 12 steps. That's where some of us, thank you, your hairstyle, I love it. Thanks, thank you, JK, I appreciate that. And I forgot what I'm saying. JK threw me off. Oh, okay. So that's where I think some of us get it twisted at, because when someone is speaking of the 12 steps, people automatically say, "Oh, I don't have an addiction." That's not for me. I'm not addicted. I don't have an addiction, you know? And that's not true. It's not just for people with addictions. So sometimes you got to stop and listen for a minute instead of just reacting and jumping to your own conclusions or your own understanding. Sometimes you have to stop and listen first, right? And when you compare yourself in something, then you will get the benefit of it. You will see that it's not just for one thing. So don't be so quick to compare out. Compare in first. That way you get a better understanding. Okay? And if any of y'all have any questions for me, as we get to the end, you can put it in the chat and I will answer any questions y'all might have for me. Um, okay, my next thing that I wanted to talk about is denial. Okay. For people who are addicts, right? Really was so sweet. Thank you, JK. You had stopped now. You got me up here blushing. So so for some people, is denial for addicts is like not wanting to admit that we have a problem. Okay. Like when I first found out I had a problem, I didn't know, first of all, I didn't know I had a problem. So, and I definitely wasn't trying to admit to it. Okay. So I was in denial when I first started, when I first uh got caught up in addiction. I was definitely in denial. I didn't want to admit that because I couldn't see me being an addict. So I wasn't trying to admit that. But I was. I just didn't know I was. So, but people who are not in addiction also have denial. Okay? Like some people that be in uh domestic violence relationships, right? They are in denial about it. They really are. They are in denial about it. But as time go on, right? They start to recognize, wait a minute, this may really be a domestic violence. I may be in a domestic violence situation. You know what I'm saying? And then they later on they start to admit that they are in one. And not just that situation. You got other situations too where people are in denial that has nothing to do with drugs. Okay? So it's not just about uh people who are in recovery. Okay. My next one was acceptance. Acceptance. We all have a problem with that, right? It's not just about an addict or somebody in recovery with acceptance. We all have a problem with acceptance. Some kind of way, you know. Thank you, JK. some kind of way, we all have a problem in our lives with acceptance. Okay? Say for instance, for me being in recovery, accepting the fact that I had to come to grips with I wasn't going to be able to use no more. That was something I couldn't accept at first, right? But on the other hand, for somebody who don't use, acceptance could look like you don't want to accept the fact you in a toxic relationship, you know? Or you don't want to accept that you are overweight, you know? That's that's looking at it from a perspective of somebody who's not dealing with recovery. So I'm just trying to break these things down and let y'all know that, each one of these things, when it comes to recovery, it's not just for people who are addicts. Recovery can help people in so many different ways. Okay. Just the thing they use addict or addiction, you know, when they're saying them, but you can take addiction out and put whatever word, whatever you going through, you could put it in there, like trauma. Instead of saying addiction, you could put trauma in there. You see what I'm saying? So it's it's for everybody, not just for a addict, basically. Oh Lord, JK, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. So honesty, okay? Now, I told some little lies in my recovery. And through my addiction, I told some little lies. Um, I was always a straightforward person though. I'm a person that tell it like it is. And but I have told some lies, right? But honesty became important for me when I finally got clean. I stayed clean. Honesty was something that really, 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 really put a lot of things together, right? And not only that, honesty for me in my recovery became a power tool, if that makes sense. Because I really, really, really had to come clean about a lot of things. I couldn't keep, pussyfooting around. Excuse me. I couldn't keep pussyfooting around. Some things I had to get honest with, right? Like when I had to talk to my mom, when I would talk to my kids, I had to be honest with them, you know. And I was proud of myself for that because with my children, for some reason, I was just always blunt and direct with them. If they asked me questions, I gave them answers. And I didn't give them lies. I gave them the honest answer, you know? So I don't know what that was about, but yeah, honesty, yeah, did a lot for me, you know, while I was going through recovery. Accountability. Oh my. We all go through accountability, right? It's everyday people who has never picked up a drug in their life have problems with accountability, right? People that don't, people that don't want to accept truth and stuff. Come on, don't want to hold themselves accountable for nothing. I know a lot of people like that. I had to get away from them because they never wanted to, accept accountability for nothing. And that's something I have a hard time dealing with. When you know you have done something or you was a part of something and you don't want to, you know, you don't want to hold yourself accountable. That's crazy to me. But we all go through that. We all go through that accountability. Um Making amends. Oh my. That was a hard thing too. That was making amends, because making amends is more than just saying sorry, right? When you make amends with somebody, they be watching you to see if you're going to go back. Whether whether you think about that or not, like your children, people who really close to you and really, really love you. When you get clean, they watching you, because it's like they holding their breath because they don't want you to go back. So they watching you, and even though you have went to them and apologized and stuff, and they may have accepted it, it's still on their heart, and they still hurt from the things that happen. You understand what I'm saying? So making amends is a lot more than just saying sorry. You got to prove yourself. When you start making amends, you definitely got to prove yourself. You can't be playing around with your loved ones, and your children and stuff, especially people that got children. You can't do that. When you make amends, you got to show them that you're going to stay clean. You got to show them. You got to prove that to them, because they watching you, and some of them walking around on eggshells because they hoping that you don't go back. They want you to go back. So they be watching you and they be like on eggshells, right? Because they really don't want you to slip back into that world, you know? So yeah, making amends was hard for me because some of my kids wasn't willing to accept it, my apology. They wasn't ready. That's something else that some people got, not just people in recovery, but that's something that some of y'all gotta watch, is that when you go to make amends to someone you have hurt, you have to really, really be careful about that, because um because oh, I lost my thought. You have to really be careful about that, because sometimes, even though you are ready to apologize to someone, they might not be ready to accept it, because they hurt, and they've been dealing with that hurt for a long while, So even though you're ready to make amends to them, they might not be ready to accept it. So that's something that you got to look out for too, you know. Thank you, JK. That's something that you got to look out for too. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow. That I'm making amends, especially with my children. And my mother died before I can even make amends with her. She passed away. So yeah, that was hard for me. Um Now this last one is recovery versus getting clean. I want to touch on this a little bit. Recovery. Well, no, let me talk about getting clean first. Getting clean. Getting clean is just removing the drugs. Okay? Getting clean is just moving the drugs. But recovery is when you start on that journey of healing, right? And you start doing the step work, like the 12 steps. When you start doing that step work, right? That's the difference in that. You're going very deep. Anybody can get clean. But what helps you to stay clean, that you recover. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You need to recover. Not just get clean, but you need to recover, because you want to change your stinky thinking. You want to change your ways, those old habits you picked up while you were using and stuff like that. You want to change all that. So it's a must that you go through recovery. It's a must. So yeah. Yeah, cuz some people do that. Some people just get clean, right? And they may stay clean for years. But a lot of times they end up relapsing, because when it come time to deal with certain things in life, it gets hard on them to deal with it because they didn't, do the step work on themselves. And I'm gonna tell you the number one thing that they used to always tell us: don't get in no relationships your first year, right? Because they feel like when you get into a relationship your first year, um, that can really, really be hard on you. You're trying to stay clean, you're trying to, recover, by doing the step work and stuff. And a relationship can really wear and tear on you, and you're very sensitive. So that's why they suggest no, relationships and stuff until at least, you've been clean for a year. So, and I get it. I understand that part. I do. Because when you first get clean, it's a lot going on within you. It's a lot going on, you know. What you saying sorry for, JK? You didn't do nothing. I don't think you did anything. But yeah, it's a lot going on with you when you first get clean. So I agree with that. I feel like you need to take that time and focus on you, you know. I really do feel like that you should take time to focus on yourself and not try to jump into no relationships and stuff. I really feel like that. Cause yeah, that can be very damaging to your recovery. It really can. Because you get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't understand what you're going through, right? And then they mess around and have you back out there getting high again. And you be wondering what the hell happened. But that's because your feelings and your emotions and stuff, when you first getting clean, you don't really know how to deal with all that. So to stay safe, it's best not to get into recovery. I mean recovery. I mean relationships. That's what I meant to say. Yup. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that because a lot of people really be thinking like that you know that the principles that you use for recovery is not for everybody, but it is. If you having a hard season, you can use those 12 steps to get you back on track and to help make you become a better version of yourself. Okay? That's basically what he does. It helps you to become a better version of yourself. It helps you to heal. It helps you to grow. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. And I'm going to be going over the 12 steps too. We're going to go over that eventually, not right now. We're just touching like basics, kind of basic stuff, but we're definitely going to go over the 12 steps. We're going to go into them, like I guess I'll do one each day. I guess one or two each day. And so we can break it down, what it means and stuff like that, Yeah, but I want to know from y'all how many of y'all experienced addiction far as drugs? Because and let me say this too. Addiction can come in so many different ways. Food, uh, alcohol, because sometimes people want to separate alcohol and like drugs. Some people want to separate it. To me, they all drugs, but some people want to separate it. But addiction can be alcohol, food, the gym, uh, what else? What else? The casino. What else? Addiction can be so many things. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful. But especially, let me tell you this too. When you are an addict and you are recovering, right? Let me tell you this. You have to be very careful of certain of things that's going on, where you put, who you're dealing with, what circles you're getting yourself into and stuff. Because, like I said, I may have been clean uh 20 years, but it only takes 1 second for me to go back. I pick up and it only take that 1 second. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, shit. It only take 1 second for you to relapse. It really do. So to me, I take it one day at a time. It don't that 20 years, yeah, I'm proud of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud of it. But I don't brag on it like that, because in 1 second I could be back where I started from. You see what I'm saying? So it's important for me to stay safe. Stay safe, period, in a safe place. Always keep myself in a safe place. Because some people think they can get clean and go back around the hood and hang out with the people on the corners and stuff like that. Because they be wanting to show off. They done picked up their weight, they skin glowing and shining. You know what I mean? And they be wanting the people to see how they looking. And it's all good. It's nothing wrong with that, feeling good about yourself. But you got to keep yourself in a safe place. You got to keep yourself in the safety. You got to make sure you're in safety. And when I say safety, I mean you got to make sure that you're keeping yourself grounded, and you're out of harm's way. Because I used to know some people that used to try to get people clean. No, I don't be trying to get nobody clean. I educate and stuff, but I don't be trying to get nobody clean. Because a person can get you dirty before you get them clean. You best to believe that. So, I don't be doing that. You ask me questions and stuff, and I got answers for you. I'll give you answers. But no, I don't be doing that. I don't be trying to get people clean. Because you'll look up and you'll be out there with them. You'll be done relapsed. And then you'll be looking and wondering, how did this happen? How did I get here? You know what I'm saying? It can happen. You'll be saying to yourself, how did I get here? How did I end up here? How did I end up getting here? How did I end up getting high? You know what I mean? It can happen. It can happen. It can happen to anybody. But I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I thank you all for stopping through with me and hanging out. Uh, Thank you all for looking at the replay. I know some people may come and look at the replay. I appreciate it. Um, I have a few more things that I'm gonna say, and we'll be out of here. Um, if you are rebuilding your life and looking for support, I also offer quiet comeback clarity calls. Okay, I offer 15-minute clarity calls. Right now, they're free. Okay. I also offer, I have an ebook, Turning Your Story into Income. Okay. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description, and you can go and check that out. That's also free. Okay. So, because I'm here to help, I'm here to educate, and I'm here to help. I know some people probably lost their jobs and stuff. So I want to help people the best way I can. Okay. So if you need work, or you're trying to find something that you can do, on the side, check it out. It's called Turn Your Story into Income. Okay. Um, and you can go, the link that's in the description box, you can use that and set up you an appointment for your 15-minute clarity call. Okay. And like I said, the ebook is free. The 15-minute clarity call is free. If you need more time than that, I also do. I have another session that's longer. Okay, but that one costs. Okay, and it's on the like I said, the link is to my website. and everything is right there. You can't miss it. Okay. Um. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, I'm wrapping this up. Y'all hear my daughter? That's my daughter, y'all. I have a special needs daughter, and she makes a lot of noise sometimes. Sometimes she quiet. Sometimes she be singing and stuff. So it's nothing I can do about that. But thank you all for tuning in. Excuse me, y'all. I felt that coming. You know how you get ready to sneeze and you be like right on it. Mm, okay. But I think that's it. Thank you all for the ones that tapped in with me. I appreciate you. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. Um and rebuilding from the inside out. One quiet comeback at a time. That's what we do here, y'all. That's what we do here, okay? I love y'all rebuilders, and I will see y'all on the next one. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm going to be changing the time of my live. I will put it on the community wall, okay? So y'all pay attention to the community wall, so y'all can know. I'm changing it because I was looking at my analytics in my in the back, and my subscribers are on here a different time. So I'm going to set my time according to when my subscribers is on here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to change the time. I'm going to keep the same day, but I'm going to change the time. So please look on the community wall so y'all can stay up to date. Okay? And if y'all need to tell me something, or y'all need to reach out to me about something, if I'm not mistaken, I think y'all can write on the community wall too, if I'm not mistaken. If not, just holler at you, girl. You can leave a message or something in there, or you could DM me on Instagram if you want to, or TikTok, Quiet Comeback. Okay? So thank y'all for tapping in, and I'll see y'all on the next one.